They took my daughter, 3 idiots in fake police uniforms, waving party store badges, dragged my 14-year-old girl into a black van on a random Tuesday morning while I was off earning a living. I know how that sounds crazy, like something from a bad TV movie, but I wish it was. I guess they figured I was just another oblivious suburban dad who'd freak out and cough up whatever ransom they named. Turns out they picked the wrong family because underneath these old cargo shorts is a guy who trains America's most dangerous soldiers, and today he was about to remind some people why you don't poke the bear. Now, before I get into the mess, let me set the scene. It started like any other muggy Monday at 6 a.m., me and Emma, my daughter, sweating in the garage as we worked through her basic self-defense routine. She always rolled her eyes, but I insisted on this, especially after her mother passed. Twist against the thumb, always the thumb, I told her, grabbing her wrist. She grinned and broke free like a pro, all sass. "Dad, why do we do this every morning? We live in suburbia, not Afghanistan." She didn't see the sting her words gave me. If only her mother had known how to cut herself free from that seatbelt, she might still be here, not lost to 3 feet of water after a drunk driver walked away without a scratch. "Because I never want you to feel helpless," I said, and meant it. But like clockwork, our routine was interrupted by the sharp click of heels on concrete. Dorothy Hampton, the HOA president and our resident dictator, was stomping up the driveway looking like she'd just been told her Starbucks was out of pumpkin spice. "Mr. Mitchell, do you have any idea what time it is?" "The noise ordinance doesn't lift until 7 a.m. She glared at Emma's mural, a riot of color with rainforest birds splashed across the garage wall. "This is vandalism, violation of regulation 17-3, she screeched, fingers stabbing at the sky. "You'll pay $5,000 for this, and if it's not gone in 24 hours, I'm calling the EPA for chemical contamination." I kept my cool years of dealing with worse than Dorothy had taught me to never let them see you sweat. "That's our wall, Dorothy, and Emma isn't hurting anybody." She snapped photos, muttering about ways to make people obey the rules, and stormed off making calls before she even hit the sidewalk. I hugged Emma, who was biting her lip, her eyes watering. "Don't let her get to you. Some folks are just miserable and can't stand to see anyone else happy." That evening, after a long day training Green Berets, I came home and, call it petty, helped Emma paint the mural even bigger. If Dorothy wanted a fight, well, she was going to get one, but it'd be with permits and paperwork, not fists. At least that was the plan. We painted until the stars came out. Emma's hands speckled with color, her laughter filling up the night. "Why does Mrs. Hampton hate kids?" she asked, genuine and young. "Some people are just broken, kiddo. If only I'd known how broken Dorothy really was." That night as we packed up, I saw a van creeping down our street. No plates, windows tinted. Probably nothing I told myself, but the old instincts don't die easy. I checked every lock twice before bed set Emma's panic button on her nightstand just in case. Paranoid, maybe. But that's what kept me alive through Afghanistan, Iraq, and more places I can't put on paper. Tuesday morning came way too early. I hit the road to Fort Benning at 5 a.m., mind already shifting from dad to instructor 40 Green Beret hopefuls waiting for me to teach them how to survive in hostile cities. Paranoia isn't a disorder in our line of work, I told them. It's survival. One student, Jackson, piped up. "How do you turn it off when you're home?" I wanted to laugh, but didn't. You don't. You just hope the people you love remember what you taught them. That's when my watch buzzed 3 short, sharp pulses. Emma's panic button. Not a test. Not a joke. Ice in my veins. I dismissed the class, left Jackson in charge, and sprinted for my truck. On the drive, the school called Emma absent. Her phone dead. House no answer. My hands wanted to shake. I checked the GPS on her bracelet. Her panic signal was moving straight toward the Willowbrook HOA office. It didn't take a genius to guess who was behind it. I called Maria Rodriguez, a detective and old Army buddy. Code black, I told her the words we'd agreed on: family in immediate danger. "How many bodies?" she asked, dead calm. Depends how smart they are, I replied, blowing through red lights like I was born to it. Don't do anything she said. Just be ready for cleanup, I shot back, hanging up. Meanwhile, Emma was home alone finishing breakfast when 3 men in police uniforms knocked on the door. Something was off. Their badges looked fake. One was upside down. Can I see some ID through the peephole? Emma asked. Clever as hell. Sergeant Crawford, HOA, Enforcement Division. The lead guy lied. There's no such thing, Emma replied. And impersonating a cop is a federal crime. They tried to force it anyway. The door crashed in and Emma fought like a wildcat, twisting, breaking free, kneeing the biggest one in the gut. But 3 grown men and only 14, she hit her panic button, ditched her bracelet in the bushes, and screamed the address, hoping someone heard. My dad trains people to kill for a living. You just gave him a reason. That made even the leader blanch for a second. In the van, zip-tied Emma cataloged everything: faces, tattoos, the camera, and the dashboard, the road. She kept calm because she knew I'd come. She knew. And she was right. I made it home in record time, confirmed the black van and fake cops on security footage, then parked near the HOA office and started listening in. Dorothy was inside, furious that I hadn't arrived yet. Emma's voice came over my hidden bug, icy, unafraid. You know what happened to the last people who took a Special Forces operator's kid? Nobody does. They were never found. That's my girl. Suddenly more cars, black SUVs, not police, but something nastier. I called Tyler, an old student. Need Overwatch Willowbrook HOA. Possible hostage situation. 7 minutes, he said. Don't obey traffic laws. I told him, eyes locked on the building. Inside, a new player, a calm woman professional, not Dorothy's kind of crazy. This is a test run. Dorothy, she said. We needed to see how a targeted family would react. My blood ran cold. How many other neighborhoods were they testing? Emma, tied to a chair, tapped her foot. Morse code. Camera live stream. I found the feed online chat full of sickos. When does the father show up? Make the girl cry. A logo Homestead initiative. Some fringe group I'd only heard whispers about. They were recruiting streaming this for future copycats. Tyler took up position. 7 hostels inside, 2 real professionals, rest were amateurs. Wait for my signal, I said, then strolled up to the front door like a PTA dad. No gun drawn, no threats. Inside, I played the worried parent, letting Dorothy bluster about fines. I kept Emma in my line of sight, exchanged Morse code blinks. Stay ready. I goaded Crawford about his fake military past, exposing him in front of everyone. Even Dorothy started to realize her henchman was a clown. Suddenly, Emma coughed out, more Morse fake cops, real police soon. Sirens getting closer. Dorothy panicked, ordered us to get the money. I stalled, watching Emma slip out of her zip ties. Lesson 8 from Dad. She chirped, let the enemy think they're winning. Bruce, a.k.a. Crawford, reached for his gun, and that's when I stopped playing. In about 30 seconds, you'll have to choose kidnapping and assaulting a federal officer. Choose wisely. His hands went up. Real police poured in as Dorothy lost it, pulling a pearl-handled pistol from her desk. That's not loaded, Dorothy. Emma lied, and Dorothy pulled the trigger. Click, click, click. Nothing. The lights went out. Thanks, Tyler. Chaos everywhere. Maria crashed in gun-drawn federal badge in hand. Everyone was cuffed, but then Bruce's phone pinged. Package compromised. Protocol 7, Emma, back away from that computer, I shouted. We barely cleared the building before Dorothy's Mercedes exploded. Then the van, then another car. Cleanup crew, I muttered. Someone was scrubbing evidence. Afterward, Dorothy cracked, raving about promises of a perfect neighborhood. Emma, bless her, had saved the entire live stream, chat logs, everything. 6 other streams, she told us, other neighborhoods, other families. At Maria's safe house, we huddled, pulling up files, tracking IPs, piecing together that the Homestead Initiative was running a full-blown test campaign using HOAs as cover to terrorize families they wanted gone. And Emma, my genius, cracked their comms 12 synchronized operations planned for next week. I called in every favor I had: special forces, feds, cops, friends. Emma and Maria built a war room in Maria's dining room, maps everywhere, every neighborhood targeted within spitting distance of a big city rich HOAs. We figured out their next move, and when they came, we were waiting 47 arrests, a dozen families, safe the architect of the initiative, still out there, but their playbook burned. 3 weeks later, Dorothy sat in court broken. Bruce's testimony helped bring the initiative down, got less time. He even wrote Emma from prison asking for art tips. She wrote back, of course. "Everyone deserves a second chance," she said. And we started something new. The Real Neighborhood Watch, teaching families how to spot threats, how to stand together. It spread, and soon the very thing these creeps tried to use to divide us became the thing that made us stronger. A few months later, we caught our neighbor Janet spying for the architect. Emma called her out. Janet actually laughed, said the initiative was dead, but the ghost me had a reputation now. "They haven't tried again, have they?" she said. And she was right. So, is it really over? Who knows? There's always someone trying to break up communities. Always someone who thinks they're entitled to power. But now my daughter's safe, my neighbors are awake, and I know we can handle whatever comes next together. The battle's never really over, but we learned you can't bully a family willing to fight for each other. So what do you think? Did we go too far? Was justice served? Or is this just the beginning of a bigger fight over who gets to call a neighborhood home? I'd love to hear what you'd do if it happened on your street. Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it, because real justice doesn't happen in silence.